Good afternoon and welcome to another session. Today we will be looking at the coming of the British, the second group of Europeans that arrived in Jamaica. First and foremost, as in the previous lesson, if you can remember, we looked at where the Spanish came from, why they came to Jamaica and the Caribbean, and the contributions made by that particular group. It's going to be the same pattern for the British. So, first and foremost, where did the British come from? The British, they came, they are from a place that we know as Great Britain. It is an island, and I need not go into detail as to what an island is. Great Britain is made up of three countries. Up north, you have Scotland. To, you could say maybe west, maybe southwest around here, you have Wales, and majority of it would be England. So there you have it. Three countries make up Great Britain: Scotland, Wales, and England. And that is where the British came from. Good. Also on the continent of Europe. Now we want to find out why the British came to the Caribbean, or why they came to Jamaica. There was this leader called Oliver Cromwell. He had a grand plan, a master plan. And this plan is referred to as the Western Design. And simple details for this plan was to capture Hispaniola from the Spanish, because other European nations, including Great Britain, they were getting jealous of Spain and the newfound riches. So they wanted Hispaniola. Note, they did not want Jamaica any at all. Jamaica, as you know it, we have little to no gold in Jamaica. So more gold was on the island of Hispaniola, much bigger island. That's the island today where with Haiti to the west and the Dominican Republic to the eastern side, that same island. So Oliver Cromwell had a plan. As I mentioned before, it was called the Western Design. It was to capture Hispaniola, not Jamaica. Simple, because they wanted to gain some of the riches. Good. Oliver Cromwell sent two men, William Penn and General Venables, and they were sent to capture Hispaniola. However, Hispaniola was well fortified, meaning it was well guarded. This was a prized possession of the Spanish. So these two men, William Penn and General Venables, instead of going back empty-handed, they decided to capture Jamaica instead. And this happened in the year of 1655. However, we can trace the coming of the British to the Caribbean to as early as 1623, but not to Jamaica. This does not change the fact that the British would have been the second Europeans to have arrived in the Caribbean. So, just to recap a little bit, to make sure that you are here with me. Oliver Cromwell, the leader of England, had a plan called the Western Design, which was to capture Hispaniola. He sent William Penn and General Venables. However, they did not capture Hispaniola due to the fact that it was well guarded. So they turned their attention to Jamaica in 1655 and they captured Jamaica for the British. Now we want to look at the activities done by the British in Jamaica. The British are known for expanding the plantation system. I'm sure you know about sugarcane production, how it played a prominent role in the bringing of a particular group of people to Jamaica due to the fact that sugarcane had to be grown on a large scale. It required a large labor force, a large, cheap, and reliable labor force, and this is why many Africans were brought to the Caribbean and to Jamaica. So we can conclude that the British, they were responsible for importing or bringing a lot of these involuntary migrants to the Caribbean due to the fact that they were so much into this sugarcane plantation and sugarcane growing. Now we want to find out how the British contribute to the Jamaican culture. As we all know, well, I am assuming that you know, pastries such as bun, such as sponge cakes, all of these, they are a direct contribution of the British. Along with those, we could add tarts, marmalades, Christmas pudding, pancakes. These are all contributions in terms of food made by the British. Look at that picture right there. What comes to mind? You guessed it correctly. I would say a patty as well. However, that is not a patty. That is what you call a British Cornish pastry. It is so similar to the Jamaican patty. The only thing missing from the Jamaican beef patty would have been the potato. So we can conclude again that the Jamaican beef patty came directly from the British Cornish pastry. That is also another contribution made by the British. The Maypole dance, which we still do in schools on Culture Day, is a direct contribution of the British. It is known as the long ribbon pole in rural areas in Jamaica. So the British, as we can see so far, they have contributed in terms of food, in terms of dance, and they have also made their contributions in terms of sports. To the left there is the Universe Boss, blasting away another 6 in the lovely game of cricket. Direct contribution of the British. To the right would be the Jamaican Reggae Boys, and we know the Reggae Boys are known for playing football, and that is also another contribution of the British. In terms of the language that we use, which I am using to communicate with you right now, British contribution. Tea drinking, British. This Westminster style of government, British. Religion, Anglican, because remember, the Spanish would have brought Roman Catholic, the British brought Anglican. And you already know cricket, you already know football, you already know the dance as Maypole. And that is basically it for the British for today. Thank you for watching. I will see you again.